However, in this episode, I'm really excited, as you can tell. I'm completely wired. A lot is happening, particularly with Elon Musk discussing cryptocurrency. We'll examine his prior performance in terms of the topics he has discussed. We will examine the question. I simply asked him, this person, whoever he is the one who posed this query. He was brave. He was in there, but I'm not even sure how you obtain seats at an Elon Musk event where he's speaking. Bam, he got off. He asked the classic XRP question. The next gorgeous female is going to be this guy. He's going to become well known, I assure you. He is going to attract large numbers of people who are likely already searching for him. Now, let's get started, people. Let's get started. $402, or 68,000 Bitcoin. As of right now, it is down 0.2% during the last day. Theoretically, I will weigh in at $2,710. At the moment, it is down 2.32%. At the moment, it is up 2.32%. I apologize. Both USDT and USDC are trading at their dollar pegs, which is XRP. Yes, friend, 55 cents it is in the lead, leading the charge, and up 3%. The sole thing that is up furthermore, since Solana has been ripping, I'll mention the top 8 since it seems like Solana is on the screen. At 100, I informed you about Solana. As I mentioned earlier, I believe I gave you an 80. I informed you that I would be spending approximately $1,266.66 on it. It's not going to end here, Solana. Solana can see between $1,000 and $2,000, I assure you. The quantity of money will be just outrageous. We were on the verge of attacking Solana. I am eagerly awaiting the opportunity to check the currency market cap of $2 trillion, $374 billion. Allow me to provide you with an update on Quant $66, in my opinion, the purchase of a lifetime. Folks, you know what I'm doing. I spend $800 on this item every Monday, including today. My purchases will shortly increase. Every Monday, I will receive an email confirming that I completed the $800 buy order. I have to execute it as soon as Quant hits my DCA price, which I currently estimate to be about $75. You know, I simply need to hit it up again. There are 2 distinct exchanges, and Upholding is one of them. You know my DCA, they say, but I had to figure out the DCA from the other exchange. To get a tiny chat GPT engaged, we had to do some math. I'll have it do some calculations for me, but once Quant hits that DCA, I think we're at 75 or possibly lower. We're rotating into Mr. Side and leaving it behind. A mean slim 43 cents is being held by Mr. Size. This one appeals to me. It will be my next investment, so I'm going. It's easy, I'll talk about a boom. That's our method. Hey, you need to get on board if you haven't received your NFT for my project yet. It's the only project you should be involved in. Pay the fine with your XRP now. You don't want to use XRP for payment. Use a credit card to make the payment. Every month, we receive heritage NFTs. Keep your XRP and then get your own XRP back. Picking up your mail is something you should do. They are the big males, whether they are male or female elders. There are 150 of them in the extremely limited collection. They're about half we sold out, I think. Every Monday is the only day they are out. You will wish to purchase. I'm telling you, you're going to want to stock up right away because everything we've been fermenting and cooking is gradually coming together. And the first step is the trading card game is exactly what it sounds like. You open a pack, get some cards, get some NFTs, and you own them. The packs are already available on the website. Hopefully, this week we'll see the final release of pack openers. The developers are working hard, so we will know very soon. Right now, I'd like to go straight to this. We'll examine evidence that banks are trying to spread the word about the positive developments in the SEC case. That's what you heard, right? Verification that the banks want to spread the word about the positive developments in the SEC case. We already have wonderful news, don't we? We're searching for even greater news now, though. What is that? Is this case simply going to end? None of it appeals to them. Even if it might not rain, it's almost like the gloomy cloud, dangling and dangling above the head of ripples. I think you're a fantastic retail investor, but you still have that dark cloud. I want you to listen to this clip before we dive into what this means. From an institutional perspective, however, this might be a cause for concern because if Ripple is unable to sell to them through their programmatic sales or secondary sales to the institutions and banks, you know what? That's when the dark cloud effect comes in. After that, we will discuss Elon Musk's future. In the future, I suppose, I'll be hosting webinars that we will listen to, during which he will discuss Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Then, we'll fast forward to the present, where my man will discuss XRP and the full implications of this. Let's get started. I don't get all of this blockchain stuff either. I'll be the first to acknowledge that I'm making an effort to comprehend. Yes, my 32-year-old son invested his hard-earned money in purchasing some shares of Ripple because he is a little more knowledgeable about all of this. He therefore finds it difficult to part with his money. He would prefer to pay by the shares and reimburse his parents. Which didn't impress me, but that's a different matter. But that kind of forced me to get up and pay attention, didn't it? Again, I'm not an expert on it, but I do know that they came to us a while back when they were involved in a legal dispute in the U.S. Indeed, our stance toward them was to gauge you only get one chance to make a good first impression, so if this court case doesn't work out for you, that's not the case anyhow. So, come back to us once that's resolved. Following their successful outcome in the U.S. court battle, they came back to us and look, we're going to examine it a little more. I will not profess to be an authority on it. However, we might try to advertise their product, so once more, buyer beware. We will tell our members. Here's this new technology, as far as I can tell. At the briefing I attended, they appeared to have many checks and balances in place, and they can produce real-time financial transfers. Many officials from the major banks expressed a great deal of interest in the position. Thus, it is a reality, but how does that result in solutions that are beneficial to our members? That will only become clear to us in a little while. Okay. You're done there. Then it comes over here and says, just let me mute this. We got that. The sound is muted. Thus, it is not as audible to you. Therefore, certainly, after the SEC case is resolved, Ripple through the XRP ledger, central banks will have the go-ahead to begin using XRP. Now, this is huge. Do you recall that Elon Musk was sued by the SEC? The SEC despises him on several occasions. He despises the SEC. Elon Musk has a history of discussing cryptocurrency in particular. Do you recall that he appeared on Saturday Night Live as a promoted Doge? Doge disappeared. The damn thing took off. Doge is still doing fairly well, all right. If this guy had never brought it up, Doge would have been dead by now. Well, let's just call it that. A spade is a spade. Let's be truthful. Thus, Doge has been mentioned by Elon Musk. After speaking on Bitcoin, he was ultimately questioned directly about Bitcoin XRP and received feedback. This is the first section of it. All right. This man is here. He asked a question, but I'm not sure who he is. Now, let's go on to the first interview. Digital asset investor combined the two to make our lives easier, which is gorgeous. In part 2, Elon discusses Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Before we see this 58-second clip of Elon Musk discussing why Dogecoin is superior to Bitcoin, he receives the question regarding XRP. The fact that Dogecoin can handle far more transactions than Bitcoin and that its transaction fees are extremely low is the reason I believe it has some potential. Internet connections were far poorer back in 2008 or so, when Bitcoin first appeared, than they are now. In 2008, for example, a small block size and a long synchronization period made sense, and if a currency is predicted to appreciate over time, I believe there is some benefit to having a linear growth in the quantity of currency generated. Although there is reluctance to spend it, there is more motivation to do so if the money is gradually becoming diluted. Each year, Dogecoin generates a certain number of coins or hash strings. The proportion of you understand. When does knowledge leap over to? Following Elon's discussion of Dogecoin and Bitcoin, XRP was the topic of the century. Let's get started, people. I've never advocated for crypto investments. Regarding Tesla, SpaceX, and myself, you may have purchased some Bitcoin, but it's not very relevant because it only makes up a small portion of our overall cash and near-cash assets. I purchased some Dogecoin as well. Tesla and SpaceX both take Dogecoin as payment for items, and I plan to personally promote Dogecoin because I've seen many people who aren't very affluent encourage me to do so. Given how harsh the SEC has been against cryptocurrency under this administration, I'm answering those individuals. Do you think the financial institutions will eventually adopt the XRP ledger? I can't speak to anyone in any particular cryptocurrency, but I do believe that the type of cryptocurrency is an intriguing and likely useful defense against centralized authority. Therefore, you should be aware that neither I nor this is an endorsement of XRP. However, I do believe that crypto supports individual freedom by definition. Such fascinating comments and remarks. Given that more than 1.6 million people watched, it is obvious that Elon is aware of XRP. He is aware of who Ripple is and what he understands about the technology's potency. Given that the current payments are made all over the world, wouldn't the XRP ledger be ideal for Twitter? In particular, he is unable to remark on that. Everyone is aware that no one can ever comment on a cryptocurrency precisely. Nevertheless, the truth is that he has no idea what XRP is or does. He's never been asked a question like that before, so it's intriguing that he just understood it. That man is going to be a legend.